Hey y'all, hi. Hi. So I cannot believe I'm about to do this, but I am, and it has to be done. And I'm a little bit daunted, but I'm also a little bit excited. This is kind of the situation. What's in frame right now is just emblematic of what's been going on all over this room lately, which is just that everything's getting jumbled together, everything's getting piled up. And not only do I need to organize it and do a little bit of decluttering, but I am about to pack up everything that I want to keep and move it all the way across the country. And everything that I pack is going to be in boxes and out of my reach for at least 3 weeks, maybe even a little bit longer. So I'm going to do a lot of things at once today. I'm going to go through everything. I'm going to decide what I actually want to keep. I feel like moving is often a real watershed moment. It really shows you what you want to keep, what's worth packing to move. So there's going to be some decluttering that happens. I'm also going to be deciding as I go which pieces of makeup and skincare I want to keep and pack in my suitcase to keep using during the 3 weeks when everything else is in transit. And then of course there's going to be a good bit of organization that happens along the way. This is my makeup collection, but it's also mixed with some PR that I haven't made decisions about yet. There are even a couple of half-open PR packages lying around that are going to come in frame, get unpacked, and then I'm going to make decisions about them in the course of this video. It's going to be a real mishmash and a real bonanza. And as I was bringing everything out, I realized that I don't think I can do it all. I don't think it'd be wise for me to do it all in one video. So I'm going to do the makeup in this video. The decisions about makeup will all be made in this video. And then the skincare is going to be a separate video, but all the skincare is mixed in. There's a bunch mixed in. So lots of skincare is going to come into frame and then out of frame during this video. I'll just be putting it aside and saving it for the next video so that this one doesn't get too long. And that will also help me kind of organize my thoughts. If this is your first time to my channel, then wow, you really picked a doozy to start with. My name is Hannah. I love makeup and skincare, beauty, fashion, and I just love beautiful things at large. I've gotten more comfortable over the last couple of years here on YouTube with the fact that part of my job involves testing a bunch of things that I wouldn't have bought myself and that I don't necessarily want to keep. My makeup collection is bigger than it would otherwise be, and my makeup and beauty space is definitely fuller and more chaotic than it would otherwise be. I've come to accept that it comes with the territory, but I still have a really strong instinct towards editing. At the end of the day, even though this is my job, I don't want to own too much. I don't like the feeling of having so many things that I can't keep them all in my mind palace. So this move is an opportunity for me to pare down my collection at least a little bit, get a sense of what I currently own, and let go of things that I don't think that I'm going to be using. If you enjoy this while you're watching and you're not subscribed, please do subscribe. It makes a big difference to me. And now let's go ahead and get into the meat of the video. Okay, I'm just clearing a little space for myself because the first thing that I need to do is to put away these Salt New York products. I just finished filming a couple of videos with them, and I decided in the course of filming those videos to make myself a little travel palette for the move. This is the palette that I made, and I'm putting it here at the beginning of the video to remind myself that I can do almost everything that I do when I do my makeup just using this palette. I have a complexion product, an illuminating product, and some lip and cheek products that are really versatile, and white shade adjusters in 2 different formulas that I can use to tinker with the colors. The fact that I'm going to have this with me while we're moving means that there are a lot of things that I'm going to be tempted to keep out from the boxes that I won't need to keep out from the boxes because this will do instead of them. And these, I am going to take all of these with me. They're a great reference for my YouTube work, so I need to put them into magnetic palettes that I can pack. Y'all, I'm running into a snafu already. None of my other magnetic palettes are empty, and I still have some of these balms to store. So I'm going to rearrange some of my single eyeshadows and make room for them, because I don't want to ship them together with powders in a palette. I get a better idea. This is the paper packaging that the Salt New York products are shipped in when you buy them. So I'm just going to put these back into some of these paper sleeves to transport them. Okay, fantastic. I had all of these paper sleeves in a bag ready to recycle. One of the great things about these paper sleeves, they are easily recyclable and there's no plastic in them. But I hadn't yet taken them out to the recycling, and I'm so glad that I hadn't. Sometimes it pays to procrastinate. Okay, so these 4 palettes and these paper sleeves contain the Salt New York products. I am definitely bringing them with me. I'm going to go put them aside, and then I'm going to get going on the rest of these eyeshadows. Oh look, I found a little empty magnetic palette, but I would probably only have been able to fit 2 balms in here, so it's fine. These are all of my palettes of singles. I am just going to keep them all. I'm just going to box them up and ship them. This really isn't the moment for decluttering my single eyeshadows. And I also feel like I've whittled down the collection pretty recently, and I don't feel like I'm going to be taking with me eyeshadows that I'll be sorry that I kept. So I set those singles aside, and then I remembered that I was kind of considering putting some single eyeshadows into this palette to make it even more versatile. Should I do that? I'm sitting here asking myself what kind of eyeshadow I'm going to want to be wearing while we're in the middle of moving, like after everything's boxed up. And the answer is that I'm probably just going to want to depend on like really quick, easy, and super stable formulas like the Phytosurgence eyeshadows and maybe Tom Ford Naked Bronze. I think that I can get through the 3 weeks without a selection of powder eyeshadows, which is what I was considering putting here. And I think that I'll be glad that they're not in here, making me worry that the powders are going to get mixed into the creams. So I'm just going to leave this as is and box up all my singles. Here are my eyeshadow palettes as far as I know. There might be some like sitting around in other places. We might come across some others as we go through, but this is the brunt of them. I love this acrylic storage thing for eyeshadow palettes. I'm definitely going to pack that up and take it with me. And the question before me now is, do I want to pack and transport all of these eyeshadow palettes, or is there 1 or 2 of them that I can leave behind? Okay, I'm kind of going on instinct here because I don't have time to hem and haw, and I also don't want to stress myself out too much. I'm not trying to curate a perfect collection in this moment. I'm just trying to get through this monumental task. This Glossier monochrome palette, I can let go of this. I kept it because I reviewed these and I really loved the colors, and I do still really love these colors. But I have a lot of eyeshadow. I don't like these formulas. I'm just not going to use this again. It's time to let it go. It also occurred to me going through these that this little Victoria Beckham brick, if I'm going to have any powder eyeshadows with me, these might be good ones to have. This is an incredibly tiny thing. Like, it doesn't take up any space. It's the size of a credit card, basically. So I'm going to set this aside and consider it as one of the pieces of makeup that I might keep out of the boxes when I pack, but all the rest of the palettes are going to get packed. Okay, here's some of the stuff that was in my vanity drawer. And it's starting to get to the point where I think I'm just going to have to kind of go through it, sorting it without talking over every single thought. But what I will do is to check in with you if there's anything of note, anything that I'm deciding to declutter that I feel like you might enjoy hearing my reasons for, and anything that I've decided to hang on to and not to pack up because I think that I might want to use it during these 3 weeks. Okay, these 3 are lip products. I'm just going to put them with the lip products, but I'm keeping them. And this one's a blush, so I'm putting it with my blushes. I'm keeping all of these blushes. Lots of them are things that would have been candidates for me to keep out during the move and continue using, except that there are 4 lip and cheek colors in the Salt New York cream palette that I made, and I can use all of them instead of any of these. These are all like eyeliners and stick eyeshadows. I don't have very many, so don't feel stressed out about, keeping too many of those. But I'm gonna let go of these 2 Lancome eye kohls. I really love them, but I've had them for a really long time. They're super old. I've used this one a lot, and I hope to find something to replace it because I really like the color of this one. But this one I've barely used, and I can just see looking at the surface of the product, it's getting really grody. And looking at how gross it looked made me remember how old these are and realize that it's time for them to go. This is almost brand new. It's the Ilia Multi-Stick in Ladybird. I just don't really like the balmy formula, and I have so many great cream cheeks. I'm not going to keep it. Julia, my friend with whom I've been living for the past 1.5 years, she doesn't wear very much makeup, but this is the kind of thing out of everything that I could see her maybe wanting, so I think I'm going to offer it to her. The Ellis Foss concealer is way too dark for me. This CoverGirl cream blush I have also had for a pretty long time. I really, really love it. It's been a standout product for me. I really like it, but it's not unique to my collection anymore in terms of color. There are some of the Salt New York cream cheeks that are pretty much the same color. I even have some other cream blushes in here that are pretty much the same color, and I just don't see myself continuing to use it very much because I'll be using other things instead. Then I recently tested this Citizen lipstick. I like the formula and the color wasn't bad either, but I just can't see myself wearing it anymore. So I'm gonna let all of these go. Okay, starting to make some space. Let's deal with this stuff. I don't know why my wallet, hello, my wallet's just like sitting here in a box of makeup and stuff. This is the travel case for my toothbrush, which I actually think I might want to bring with me. I mean, I might want to leave it out and use it. Okay, the brushes, I'm just going to put with the rest of the brushes and deal with them when I get there. This mascara is new from Esom. They just launched it and they just sent it to me, and it's really great. I'm actually wearing it today. It's great for that long tangled lash look. In fact, I need to decide which one mascara I'm going to keep with me while everything else is being shipped. And this is in the running, so I'm going to put it aside. These are all from Phytosurgeons, and I am planning to film a Phytosurgeons review before we leave sometime in the next couple days, so I need to set these products aside. The ColourPop pretty fresh, what is it? Pressed face powder in Fair 1. I actually had this with me when we went on our trip to rent the house that we're moving to, and I used it every day. I used it just to very lightly set the Monica blender cover so that I could wear a mask over it without issue, and I found it really useful. I'm actually probably going to travel with this. Okay, here's something that I'm going to keep. This Kaleidos blush in this super fluorescent pink color. I just feel very passionate about it. I'm also still testing this Florasis palette, but I am going to give away this powder Kaleidos blush. I feel like this is a really wearable color and someone else is really going to love it. And as much as I actually love this Kaleidos mini palette, I've tested it. The formulas are fantastic. If you're thinking about buying this and you've been waiting for a review on it, my review is that it works beautifully and it's very useful. I just have so much eyeshadow, so I'm going to also put that in the giveaway box. I'm giving away these shades of blender cover that aren't a good match for me. This unopened ColourPop Luxe Lip Oil. I love this product, but I already have one. And this Kjaer Weis Brow Gel, which just brow gels that are pigmented like this, they just don't tend to work for me. I always get it all over my skin. This is some PR from Florasis. I think that they're elaborate lipstick containers. Yeah. This is very beautiful. Yeah, that is really pretty and special. And I think there's another one in here. And I just feel kind of overwhelmed right now by the prospect of trying to like open them up, unpackage them, figure out what to do with them. And I don't have time to film a review before we leave. So I'm actually just going to pack these and take them and deal with them when we get there. This is also some PR that is not fully unpacked. These are brushes from BK Beauty. And I opened one this morning and used it because I knew that I was going to have to be, figuring out what I wanted to do with them. I used this to apply some color corrector and a little bit of foundation balm this morning, and I absolutely loved it. So I'm pretty devoted to Rephr brushes. As you'll see when I bring out all my brushes, the majority of them are from Rephr. And usually when full brush collections come in PR, I might select one or two that I think I'll get a lot of use out of, but I usually don't keep like entire ranges of brushes. However, there's a chance that I might end up really giving all of these a good try based on my experience with this one. So I'm going to go ahead and box these and bring them with me. And then once I get to my new house, I'll use all of them for a long time and I'll report back to you about whether or not I think that they're worth it. I think I'm going to keep this one out and use it during these 3 weeks. I think that this is going to be one of the brushes that I travel with. Okay, more absolute chaos. A sticky roller to get lint off of my clothing. Some hair stuff. We're getting into the skincare that's mixed in. Some pens and pencils. My perfume sample. I'm actually going to put this on right now. This perfume sample is also something that I'm going to travel with. I'm going to keep this out. I'm going to keep wearing it over these 3 weeks. And then this will always be the scent that reminds me of that time that we moved across the country. Okay, this was a really interesting box because there's a bunch of stuff lurking in here that I've been using a lot. Somehow a lot of it ended up in here. So Tom Ford Cream and Powder, Eyeshadow and Naked Bronze. This is, I think, the main eyeshadow product that I want to travel with, and it might end up being the only one. The Ilia Mascara is the one that I traveled with just a month ago. It's the other candidate for being the one mascara that I keep out and keep in my suitcase. I'm fully obsessed with the Merit lipsticks, and it's really tough to not keep one or both of these with me. They're in the shades 1990 and Tiger. I think I can pack Tiger into a box, but I'm going to keep 1990 with me. Even though there's a brown in the Salt New York cream palette, I still think I might want to wear this lipstick sometime in the next 3 weeks. These are 3 products I use a lot: the Glossier Brow Flick to fill in my brows, and then these 2 eyeliners, the Surratt Smoky Eye Baton, which is also useful for making an eye smoky. It's a good 2-in-1 product. And the Victoria Beckham Satin Kajal Liner in bronze. If I were trying to be really minimalist in terms of what I pack with me, then I would just choose between them, but they don't take up that much space. So I'm probably going to have both of them with me while I'm traveling. And then these are 2 of the 4 green color correctors that I'm currently testing for a comparison video. I think that I'm going to keep all 4 of the green color correctors that I'm testing with me and keep testing them over the course of these 3 weeks so that as soon as I land and get set up in my new house, I'll be able to film that video right away. These are 2 lip balms that I've been wearing nonstop. My favorite one is the Ilia one, so it's the one that I'm going to keep. I'll pack the other lip balms that I have kicking around. And then this, the Kevyn Aucoin Neo Highlighter. I use this almost every single day to make the color of my neck match the color of my face better. I don't think that I can be without it for 3 weeks. But these things are all getting packed. Here's some makeup, much of which I feel like is still in purgatory. Things that I'm still testing. That includes this eyeshadow palette. It's from ZC. It's incredibly beautiful, and I haven't even touched it yet. So I'm going to pack this and then test it when we get there. This winged eyeliner from Flower Beauty that I haven't even opened, but it's brown and I'm curious about it, so I definitely want to test it. And then this Bitten lip tint, which is also from Flower. I'm going to pack all of those. The Kjaer Weis primer didn't work for me. I'm decluttering it. ColourPop Ritz, keeping it but packing it. I really love the City Lips lip plumpers from City Beauty, but I have a clear one. That's the one that I use almost every time I want to use this product. I'm probably going to keep the clear one in my travel bag when I come across it, but these 3 can go in boxes. And actually, I think that the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer might be the primer that I travel with. This little Kaja Play Bento, I really like it, but I don't think that I'm going to use it instead of my other cream and powder cheek products. So I'm going to declutter this too. These are some cheek stencils from Kaja that I've always meant to use. I'm going to keep them for when I start doing Euphoria themed makeup, which is going to happen any day now, y'all. And then I have to decide about the Kaleidos highlighters, which I really love. I really love them. And I just don't use them very often because it's not the kind of makeup that I tend to do the most. I have all of them. I haven't even gotten rid of the PR box yet. Or the packaging, because I like everything about it so much. In fact, this might seem kind of extra. In fact, it is very extra, but I think the thing that would make me the happiest would be to open all of these and take them out of their boxes, but keep storing them in this PR box. I'm not usually like this. I usually like to break down and recycle packaging and compact my belongings into as small a space as possible. But there's something about this that really delights me. It might be because it's book shaped like this. It might be because I feel like when I look at these contents, I can really make a decision because it's all really clearly laid out. But even though it doesn't feel super practical, this sparked a lot of joy for me, and I feel like I'm going to really enjoy opening this and selecting from these, and maybe having them in this kind of layout will encourage me to use them more often. So I'm actually just going to pack the Encyclopedia of Kaleidos Space Age Highlighters just like this and take it with me. Whew, that was exciting. Okay, here we go, y'all. Lip products. The question is there anything here that I want to keep with me? Oh, here's the other BK brush that I used this morning as a tester to apply my cream blush. And it too was glorious, and it too I might keep with me. So the Salt New York lip and cheek products can be used on the lips. I have 4 of them in my palette that I'm going to be traveling with. And so I feel like I don't want to pull anything from here unless it's truly beloved and I can see myself during these 3 weeks being like, I really wish that I had packed X. And the only thing I can think of off the top of my head that I might feel that way about is A Royal Scandal. It's a Gucci lipstick, my favorite. It was a gift from my beloved friend, Michelle, and it's the perfect color for me. And I also feel like it'll just be kind of comforting to have it with me, to have some familiarity. I'm going to pack this in the bag that I keep when I move. And the only other thing I'm wondering is, am I going to want a red, like a strong red? Am I trying to cover my bases here? And am I going to want at any point like a classic gloss? You know, there's a red in the Salt New York palette. There's like a terracotta red. It's a bit of a tint rather than like a strong red lip, but I think that I can go 3 weeks without a strong red lip. I think I have enough for my lips, and I think the rest of these can just meet me at the destination. Oh, you know what? You might have seen my dirty secret, which is that the only makeup that I've ever bought backups of are these two, now discontinued Glossier Play Vanillic lips. And I've been thinking that it might be time for me to actually start using them because they're just getting older in their boxes, and I'm doing that thing where I don't want to open them because I know that I can't get them anymore. But that's foolishness. I bought them and I should use them. So I'm actually going to open this one, Disco, the red. I'll pack this in my suitcase and see if I get any use out of it. These are all of my brushes and a couple of random tools and this teeny tiny lip liner that I've never managed to finish. Or maybe I have. Maybe this is what it looks like when you finish a lip liner. This is from my pre-YouTube days. It's the Givenchy lip liner in number 9, which used to be called Lip Brown. I think its time has finally come. Anyway, I don't know if I have the wherewithal to deeply declutter my brushes right now. In fact, I know I don't. I'm not even sure I have the wherewithal to clean all of my brushes before I pack them. I know you might be judging me for that, but this is how it is. I'm just going to quickly go through them, consolidate them, and rescue 1 or 2 that I think that I might use while everything else is in transit. Okay, a couple of random makeup products that are going to be shipped through to the final destination and a couple that aren't. Just a brow gel that I was testing and a mascara sample that I just feel like I'm never really going to use because I have so much great mascara that I'm already using. 2 brushes that I am decluttering, the Glossier one and this old e.l.f. brush. They're just super synthetic, don't pick up powder very well. They're not my favorite thing. It's easy to make a snap judgment about these 2, but everything else, all these other brushes, I just don't feel prepared to decide about right now. It's hard to imagine that I'm going to be wearing all that much eyeshadow over the course of these 3 weeks, but when I do apply eyeshadow, even just a quick wash of cream, I always use 1, 2, or sometimes 3 of these rougher brushes. This is like my basic kit of different shapes of rougher eye brushes. So I'm probably going to just pack all of these, bring them all with me, have them all available. I mean, just in case. They don't take up that much space and I'll be glad that I have them. For complexion, I usually use this pink brush, but I think I'm just going to stick with this BK Beauty brush for the journey and this BK Beauty brush for my cheeks. And then I'm going to keep this big fluffy Tom Ford brush for bronzing up my neck. Okay, this is all makeup that I'm keeping, but that I'm going to box up and send in the moving truck. And these are 3 products that I might have with me. The 2 green color correctors for sure, because I'm testing them. Monica blender cover, probably. And I'm kind of considering keeping out this Lisa Eldridge, what are they called? Liquid Lurex, just to have something to add a little something something. Although, is that really the thing that I would want the most to have out, to add a little something something? Why not? I was sort of thinking I might prefer something with like a little glitter, but there is a little glitter in the Tom Ford product, and I don't know. I'm not really feeling like a little glitter these days. I'm feeling like I might enjoy having this. We're getting close to the end, y'all. This is the last box, like the last box that's been sitting around. And I don't know, I might do a sweep after that to see if I missed anything, but we're closing in on it. Y'all, this last box really got me in terms of wanting to keep things out of the box, the shipping boxes, because this is all stuff that I want to keep with me, like pack in my suitcase. These are all products that I'm definitely going to keep, but I am okay to pack them up and ship them on the truck. So I'm going to set them aside. I think that that does it for sorting through the makeup. And then I'm going to pull out everything that I have reserved for keeping with me and hold my feet to the fire about whether I really do need all of it to stay out of the moving boxes. Yeah, I kind of feel like this is too much. I don't need all of this makeup to travel with me. And I do think that there's some redundancy here, like there are products that do the same thing as each other. So I'm going to go ahead and whittle this down. These are all of the complexion products and lip and cheek products that I decided to hang on to when I was sorting through my makeup. But this palette is full of complexion products, lip and cheek products. So I don't need all of this. And I'm pretty committed to living with the Salt New York palette for a couple of weeks and just seeing how that goes for me. So I think that I should probably deprive myself of some of my default other lip and cheek products on purpose to make sure that I actually get the use out of this palette that I'm hoping to get. Let's start with complexion. I'm going to have these green color correctors because I'm testing them. So when I color correct with green, I usually don't feel like I have to use as much base product because it helps my skin a lot just to have the redness balanced out. So I feel like the Sneaky Balm from Salt New York and the white complexion adjuster plus the green color corrector will definitely be enough for me on a lot of days. But I want to keep one more full coverage complexion product with me in case I need it. As much as I like the Purito BB cream, it shouldn't be this because it's way too dark for me. I actually think blender cover is probably the right one. I think that this is the thing that I'm going to wish that I had the most. So I'm going to pack these other 2 in the boxes. Now let's look at lips. Now again, this is hard. I'm having a hard time deciding to be without any of these lip products for 3 weeks, but the point is to deprive myself of the things that I might reach for first so that I end up using the Salt New York balms. Not that I'm reluctant to use them, but I think that these aren't usually my first thought when I want to put something on my lips. So I think I should remove the things that are the most akin to them. The Merit lip oil is definitely like the liquid in a tube or in a little component version of Salt New York Cocoa. So that's a double. I'm gonna pack it. The glossy vanillic lip, actually, even though I understand why I decided that I wanted to keep it out, it serves the same purpose as this terracotta colored lip and cheek from Salt New York. So I'm gonna kick it out too. I'm gonna keep the lip plumper. I'm gonna keep both of these balms. I just started using this mango balm from Glossier and I really like it. And I feel like 2 lip balms, that's not too many. That's the kind of product I'm going to reach for the most over the course of these 3 weeks. Let's let go of Merit 1990 as well. I'll be really excited to be reunited with it. And for the time being, I can just use Cocoa. They're pretty similar. The Merit lipstick is definitely more brown, but I am going to hang on to a Royal Scandal, which is even more brown. Yeah, that really does it. That is a very tidy edit for me for traveling. And frankly, I mean, I have these 4 color correctors just because I'm testing them all, but you know, it's really just like that. That's what we're dealing with. That is working for me. All right, let's deal with the rest of this stuff. Oh, I forgot about the powder for complexion. I definitely want to take it. Okay, these are all the products to make up the eyes that I'm thinking of bringing. I think I don't need to bring this Victoria Beckham palette. It's just going to be Tom Ford Naked Bronze. And actually, something in my heart is telling me to bring the Lisa Eldridge, to have the Lisa Eldridge in my suitcase. But I've been so frustrated lately with all of my eye looks looking copper. It's just like I sit down to do a quick neutral eye look and it ends up orange. And I haven't wanted that lately. And I just feel like this is orange. It's like a copper color. So I am going to save myself from that continuing to happen. And I'm not going to take it. But I'm going to take this Lethal. I'm going to pack this amazing liquid eyeshadow from Lethal. That will be the little something special. Victoria Beckham's going in the moving boxes. The Urban Decay Eye Primer is coming with me. I think both of the liners, the smudgy Surratt product and the Victoria Beckham bronze liner are coming with me. And then I'm going to pack the Issa mascara. I love the Ilia mascara. I mean, I've been using it for pretty much a solid month and it's one of the best mascaras I've ever used. And I might regret it. I might miss it, but this is a good enough mascara right out of the gate to know that I'll be able to do everything I need to do and have the lashes that are going to make me feel good with just it. And it's brand new and I'm still kind of testing it. So this will give it a really good test. Okay, we're really whittling it down. The 2 brow products I'm definitely going to pack with me. I feel like this is too many brushes. Yeah, this is too many eyeshadow brushes, especially given that I decided only to bring Tom Ford Naked Bronze as like my only eyeshadow. I don't think I need this one. I don't think I need 2 of these. And these 2 brushes, I love them both, but they kind of serve the same purpose. So I'm actually just going to stick with that one. So that's it, y'all. That's my little makeup travel kit. These are the products that I'm going to be living with for 3 weeks while everything else is in transit. And I feel like it's going to be a real learning experience. I'm going to learn a lot about this makeup. I mean, some I already know. I know this makeup really well, some of it. Some of it I'm going to get to know much better over the course of these 3 weeks. And it'll be really interesting to see what I miss the most of the things that I decided not to keep with me. I'm going to end this video here and kind of reconvene and then go through the skincare. So you can look forward to another video just like this one about skincare. I'm going to be going through the skincare, decluttering some, deciding what I want to pack for the moving boxes and what I want to keep with me. So you'll find out in that video what skincare is currently indispensable to me and what's worth it to me to bring with me in my suitcase. Before I go, I'm going to see if I can fit everything except the Salt New York palette into this little bag. Yes, I totally was able to fit everything, which is going to be really convenient. Okay, so this is fantastic. It'll be really easy to travel with this as my makeup during the move. I feel like it's really starting now. We are really moving into that in-between period, and it's kind of exciting. I can't wait to see you and all of my makeup on the other side, and I hope that you are taking extra good care of yourself so that you can be the most effective version of yourself as you do your work in the world.